the streets, you know what's up, you gotta keep it on. Any day they surviving, why? Cause they keep fire. Niggas know this keeping it a Benji, we do not lie.
What's up, Dice Crew? Keeping it a Benji, and I'm getting back with y'all. Now, look, I'm not sure if y'all remember or not, but it was a situation, it might have been like a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, but we had China Mac when he started his live stream. It was called Mac Talk. He ran a situation to where ODM Slim was pretty much kind of like a reoccurring guest or like a co-host or whatever. So China Mac had Vlad TV up there, came up with a prank. The prank was like ODM Slim and another individual having a fake altercation, like fake guns involved, stuff like that. Just really trying to get Vlad worked up for content. That would have been great if Vlad did something under the ordinary or just some very awkward, scary, coward, or even reacted as a tough guy. All that would have made for good content. And now we got Vlad pretty much explaining that and breaking that down to Adam on how he felt about that. And I'm going to say I do agree with a lot of the points that Vlad was saying. Like Vlad said, he feel like he's in the CEO position. He's at a top tier position, even though he understands it is people that's bigger than him. But just to put him in a position to where anything could have went left, that could have ruined his brand or, his name, just put him in a bad light. And especially, it's not only that it's because they filming it, but it's a live stream. They can't come back and do no edits. If people recording that, then that's just out there forever. That would have just been like, you could have put a big old dagger in Vlad, career, business, brand, whatever. So I totally agree with that. And I know some people will probably say, hey, it is what it is. Sometimes people like Vlad, he get out there and he do what he do, and he don't care about a lot of other people too. I could just say that. Sometimes he go to the path of speaking on crimes, sensitive topics, street business, whatever. That's not always something that everybody's going to be approved about. How can I say it? Like, yeah, they're not going to approve on it, because in every scenario, it's always a good side and a bad side. So when you got a situation that you put out there on your platform, it's going to always be hard to get everybody to be in agreement of what your content is. You know what I mean? That's just how it go. And also on China Mac behalf, I want to kind of say, China Mac he was fairly new to the live stream game, to my knowledge. And he was trying to figure out how to get in that algorithm and how to become viral. And that was something that Vlad did say too. He was saying, we can't always trying to shoot for viral, which I do agree with that. And he was talking about how he chooses not to have China Mac back on Vlad. He don't feel like he's in the space with China Mac to where he want to continue to do business at this moment. Don't want to help him make no money, stuff like that. So, I could go down the path and throw a lot of insults at China Mac or whatever, or maybe even Vlad. But one thing I just want to point out is everybody can learn from that situation, and I'm sure that China Mac did. You don't want to ruin your relationship with people, and you don't want to ruin your friendship relationships or business relationships over jokes, pranks, or just anything that's not really real. You know what I mean? And it's like Vlad was saying that he was kind of cool at first. It wasn't a big old thing. And then he said he just kept thinking about it even more. Then he realized that China Mac did put him in a bad space. Because he said he usually rolled around with security, but he reached out to China Mac and asked him he responded when China Mac gave him an invite to Mac Talk. And he told him hey, do I need to bring security? China Mac told him no. So Vlad came up there with the intentions of everything being smooth, and he pretty much trusted China Mac. Now, granted, China Mac didn't just put him in like a dangerous situation and try to backdoor Vlad. However, he definitely put Vlad in a bad position. So one thing we all got to learn from this is read the room, read the audience, judge everybody's character accordingly, individually, and don't try to think or don't make the assumption that everybody's open for everything. Even if majority of people around is acting like they all for something, that don't mean that this one person is for it too. You know, you might have a party. Everybody might like to drink. That don't mean everybody in there want to drink. You just got to be mindful about that no matter what the settings is. And I definitely learned something from that myself. You know, like if it's not really that type of relationship based upon us joking and content making or whatever like that, then I'm going to try my best not to indulge in that type of situation. If it's a serious relationship based upon serious stuff and serious conversations and, you know, serious scenarios, then I'm going to try to keep stuff based upon that. And, you know, I would never agree with trying to win off somebody else's suspense. Like if nobody's agreeing with what I'm doing, then I would never just publicly put somebody in a bad space. I mean, not even behind the scenes, you know, but that's just the type of honor that I'm trying to operate off of. But I said enough. I hope y'all get where I was coming from, and y'all probably learned something from it too. So shout out to Vlad and China Mac, and I'm gonna run that content for y'all and get y'all the clip. Shout out to the Dice Crew. Keep it a Benji for me in the comments. If not, don't jump in. I'm out.
And I remember I went out to Queens and sat in and did his interview. And I would have him on my podcast, and I would actually pay him as a repeat guest. And, you know, we had a very respectful relationship and everything else like that. So he hit me up and it was like, yo, I want you to do my podcast. And I'm like, sure, I got you. You know, didn't charge him anything or whatever else. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, I understand it's a smaller platform and they don't have the same type of money that we do. So I was like, cool, I got you. I'm like, where's it going to be at? He's like, oh, in downtown LA. All right, cool. And I was like, you know, do I need to bring security with me? He goes, oh, no, absolutely not. It's just going to be us two in just a little private room. This is not a studio. You know, if it was like a public studio or a place where I know a lot of people come through, I would always bring security. Like, I have security with me right now. But he's like, no, it's just a little private apartment, and it's just going to be us two. So don't bring security. So I was like, all right, cool. So, and he was like, oh, and it's going to be live. And I'm like, okay, this is a little different. I don't do live stuff really ever, but me and him have a history, so I'm down. So cool, I'll do it. So we're doing the interview, and then I hear some noise, and you know, you see all this in the video that surfaced the same night. A couple of guys came in arguing in the background. You know, they walked past us behind the camera, and they're arguing. The argument is getting more and more loud, and then one of them's like, yo, I'm about to go get my gun, or something like that. And I'm just like, if you see the video, I put my hands in my pockets.
Right.
Because I had something on me at the time. Right. And this thing is escalating behind me, and it seems real. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't know either of these two guys. I don't know whether this is about to spill over into me, and I'm on live right now. So every single thing that's happening right now is now being recorded by somebody, and I have no control over this. So if you look, I'm going like this. I'm like, yo, just shut off the live stream. Like, no one needs to see what's happening back here. You know what I'm saying? No one needs to be involved in this ruckus that's happening behind us. And then it turns out to be a prank.
But how long did it take for you to realize that?
When he threw confetti on me.
Oh, it's in the video. Right.
Yeah. I didn't know it was a prank until the confetti, you know, hit me. And at the time, it was like, I wasn't really annoyed at the time because there was a little bit of adrenaline kind of flowing in the whole situation. And then we went and had some dinner afterwards and everything else like that. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this could potentially have gone very badly. You know what I'm saying? It's like I could have pulled out a weapon live on camera. I could have gotten scared and ran away live on camera.
And that's all content to him. Those are all like good things, you know?
Yeah, but
because chaos is kind of like a streamer's currency.
But I'm a CEO. You know what I'm saying? I'm not I'm behind the camera most often. Like I'm not the troll. You know, I'm not the troll type person that does it. And he knows that. And I felt I was put in a precarious situation. And the fact that it even happened was because I trusted in him enough not to bring my security. If my security was there, he wouldn't have pulled what he pulled off.
He told you not to bring security.
He told me not to bring security.
It's kind of like an additional layer there.
Yeah, kind of on purpose.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if my security was right there,
he would have been
one
all
of those
over
guys could have gotten shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As a joke. And then, you know, but the fact that he purposely told me not to bring security in order to prank me, and it's live. Had it not been live, I would have thought about it a little bit differently, because I would have probably told him, just don't put that out. I'm not really into that. It's not my personality. You don't see me in the middle of a bunch of pranks ever. And I felt like, in terms of our relationship, what I've done for him, put him on, you know what I'm saying, put in the initial, you know, use my platform and my audience to help bring him a career.
Basically open the door for everything that has happened to him since.
Yeah, open the door for all the stuff that he's done afterwards. I would have just felt that he would respect me a little bit more than to do that, than to put me in a situation that could have possibly gone wrong, because he knows I'm not a gangster or a tough guy or anything else like that. He didn't know how I was going to react. Luckily, I reacted well, but it could have very easily gone, you know what I'm saying? If I could have just panicked, then that would have been a meme forever. You know what I'm saying? So me and him had a conversation about it afterwards, and I was like, me and you are still cool. Like, you know, we've posted some of his stuff before. He's hit me with a Happy New Year. I hit him back with a Happy New Year and everything else like that. I have no beef with China Mac at all. I wish him all the best, but I just said after that, I don't feel comfortable bringing you back on my platform and paying you and stuff like that, because I feel like what you did wasn't respectful to our relationship. You know, if you had Kevin Lyles or, you know, Leo Cohen or Russell Simmons, not to say I am of the caliber of those guys, but I'm saying we're all CEOs, you know, or even a Dame Dash. If you would have had any of those people, you wouldn't have pranked them. It's just with me, you felt like you could prank me for whatever reason. And I felt like I respect him too much to do that to him. And I felt like him doing it to me, I felt wasn't, you know, giving back the respect that I've always shown him. So that's where we are. There's no beef. I'm not mad at him. I'm not speaking negatively about him right now. But that's the story. You know what I'm saying? And from his point of view, he was like, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't really think it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, if this happens, what happens here? Then what happens here? Then what happens here? I think he just saw it. He told me he saw it as an opportunity to create a viral moment, but it's being done at my expense. I haven't seen China Mac on Vlad TV, and there's no beef. If he texts me, I'll hit him back. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things where I don't agree with it, and that's just sort of affected our business relationship to a certain degree. But, you know, maybe the future will hold something different. Who knows? I have no idea. But at this time, this is why you haven't seen China Mac on the platform. And, you know, trying to go viral isn't always, you know, isn't always the best strategy. And you kind of have to work things out in your head. You have to work out the whole story. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what if we pull the prank and then someone gets shot?
Right.
That might happen. Vlad doesn't bring security, but he might have a gun on him. Not to say I had a gun on me, but you know what I'm saying? Who knows? Someone might get stabbed. Someone might get, you know, who the hell knows? You're putting someone in a situation and you don't really know how they're going to react. You know what I'm saying? And just because someone isn't a quote unquote gangster doesn't mean that they don't have a survival instinct. Yeah. Because I've been through home invasions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a tough guy, but I'm also not going to sit there and let someone kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have I will protect myself and I will kill somebody if my life or theirs is on the line. You know, I would, you know, like, and that's the thing that people don't always realize is that when you see people at these high positions, like none of them are really punks. You know what I'm saying? You may think they're a punk because they may not have big muscles or they may not carry a gun or they don't have scars on them, but every person at a certain position has had to go through a lot of shit to get to that position, had to stand their ground with a lot of people that have been trying to tear them down. So everyone has a certain level of courage and character at that position. So when you push them, you don't really know what's going to happen. You may think, because I've never been to prison, that I'm a certain type of way, but you don't really know until you see me in that situation.
And your response is not like, oh, I'm going to beat the shit out of China Mac. It's
No,
just,
not at all.
I'm not really comfortable doing business with you anymore.
At this time, yeah.
Right.
That's it. Yeah, no, I don't want to fight China Mac. I don't want to see anyone fight him. Like, you know,
Right.
I hope he does well. You know, like I said, I helped start him off in this business. So when he does well, I feel like I've contributed to that, and that makes me happy. I've never asked him for anything. Like I said, I've even paid him for my interviews. So, you know, for him coming on my platform, because he's got, you know, his interviews have done well. And I believe in compensating like repeat guests. But at the end of the day, shit happens. Relationships change.